So we're back for part 2 of the Witchwood, Hearthstone Witchwood spoiler card review. So right here we have Warrior left off on Warlock with the Witchwood Imp, and now we're starting with Warrior with their their legendary card Black Howl Gunspire. Can't attack whenever this minion takes damage and deal 3 damage to a random enemy. It feels bad for this to get Shadow Word Pained, right? But let's look at the good stuff about the card. Like, if you can start utilizing the value out of this, it could be really fun. It would require a deck that's already using a lot of whirlwind effects and stuff like that to really take advantage of this card. But, you know, because it doesn't have taunt, that's a notable thing, and it can't attack, so unless you're acting upon it, it's most likely not going to have any value. So you definitely need to be more proactive with this whenever you are using your other cards. Or, you know, I guess if enemy has to use Master Removal, but it feels bad to, even if you only get 6 damage, if you get 6 damage to 32 random enemies, you gotta get, like, I feel like you need to at least get 4 triggers out of this to make it better than really 5. I think I get a lot of triggers out of this to really get a lot of good value out of it. Because think about the Hunter card, that multi-shot that doesn't see a lot of play. It's 3 to 2 random enemies and it's 4 mana. So, you know, you gotta get at least 3 more mana value out of this, because you can probably get 2 damage out of this pretty easy, but I don't know. You need to get probably 4 to 5 triggers to really get good value out of this, I think. Alright, moving on to Darius Crowley. Rush. After this attacks and kills a minion, get +2/+2. I think this is just a strong 5-drop in a deck that wants to run Rush minions. I think it has, the way I understand it, that even if he attacks into something with 4 attack, he'll kill it, and then this will trigger, and he'll get the +2/+2. So he'll live as a 6/2. That's from what I understand. That's how this card will work. So that's pretty cool. It could be very sticky. So somebody who wants to trade, obviously. Pretty neat. I think it'd be worth checking out anyway. Legendary. Deadly Arsenal. Reveal a weapon from your deck. Deadly Arsenal. I'm not sure if I went over the stats over this. It's early in the morning. I'm just going to go back over it. Sorry. 5. Darius Crowley is a 5 mana 4/4 rush. After this, attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2. Alright. That's for people listening to the audio. I'm not sure if I really remember if I went over that very well. Alright. Deadly Arsenal. 6 mana. Reveal a weapon from your deck. Deal its attack to all minions. I don't really like this card. Maybe better in future sets when Warrior has a wider range of usable weapons. But right now, you don't really see. The only big weapon you'd probably see in a deck that would want to run a card like this, like a control warrior, is Gorehowl, and it currently doesn't see a lot of play. I kind of like Gorehowl, but if it was like reveal a weapon and then draw that weapon and deal its damage to all minions, that could be a lot better. But that's not what the card is, right? It's just reveal a weapon. So there's a lot of low rolls, because, you know, if it's like you wouldn't run this in the same card you want to run the Black Howl Gunspire, because you lose your Blood Razor, and you don't want to hit Blood Razor with this, because then you're only paying 6 for, you're paying 2 more for Consecrate, so it's not very good. So I'm not sure if it has the right weapons to synergize right now. I know a lot of people might think of the Arcanite Reaper, but Arcanite Reapers really more of a face card. It's not really a good, I mean, it's not, I guess, the worst removal. But oftentimes, if you play Arcanite Reaper, you're kind of wanting that 10 to go face and next to run Arcanite Reaper because it's your 5 drop. So you want it to be very impactful. Um, so maybe this could make, a card like this could make room for Arcanite Reaper to look better. Or look better in a controlling lineup, maybe. So maybe that will happen for Deadly Arsenal. I'm gonna move up and probably speaking really low here. Early in the morning, trying not to be too rude. Next we have the Town Crier. Town Crier is a 1-mana 1/2 battle cry. Draw a rush minion from your deck. Yeah, a 1-mana 1/2. 1/2 is a good body for a 1-mana card. And it's basically a 1-mana draw card. But it's even more important in earlier turns because it's 1-mana draw. It's even more valuable turn 1 specifically because it's 1-mana draw a creature, which could get into like a red band wasp or something like that, or some other 2-drop you may want to interact with for some kind of curve warrior. So that just kind of filters your curve really well. Or you can use it as a tutor for a specific card that you want to draw in like a more controller lineup or mid-range lineup. So very good. I think that's one to individuate most efficient cards that we get the chance to look at. So it's pretty cool. Militia Commander. 4-mana 2/5. Rush. Battlecry. Gain +3 attack this turn. Yeah, 4-mana. Basically, on the turn it comes out to 4-mana 5/5 charge for trading, which is 5 is a good defense at that level, at that turn, especially if you're on play and your opponent just dropped a 3-drop. Your likelihood of this minion sticking around after taking the minion off the board is pretty high, which is pretty strong for stabilizing the board, and turn 4 is a good turn for that. So I like this card. A lot of people say they didn't like our next card. Red Band Wasp with a 2-mana 1/3 rush, has +3 attack while damage. I kind of like this card. They're no longer using the keyword enraged, which is fine. I think they have a good argument with that, with the idea that explaining enraged is as complicated as just saying has +3 attack while damage. So just do that. Very just no no confusion, right? So the issue is getting the damage on it on the turn it rushes. So that's probably not likely to happen unless it's part of like a turn 4 combo with like a abusive sergeant or something, or not abusive sergeant, but warriors got 2-drop. Cruel Taskmaster, thanks to every card. 2-mana 2/2, deal 1 to a minion, give it +2 attack. But you know, it's decent stats. Oh no, it's still the 2/2. It's kind of vanilla stats. Earth Rush, I don't know. It's iffy, but I feel like if you're going for a curve, I'm not sure exactly how many 2-drop minions that Warrior is going to have available to that's going to want to play in that deck. So you could just see play just because it's something that's on curve. Moving on to the next minion. Faster Root Hulk. 5-mana 2/7. After a friendly minion attacks, gain +1 attack. You know, I don't hate this card actually. I'm not sure if this is truly a competitive card, but maybe in the rush deck, this could be really good. You can play him on turn 5. Even he's actually kind of cool on like a refill turn. So say you get Hellfired on turn 4, drop him on 5. He's likely to survive any kind of removal and throw at him on their turn 5. It's just sleight of like, coin, Siphon Soul or something, or maybe an off-curve polymorph. But if you got wiped with Hellfire, you're not getting polymorphed most likely. random effects be what they may, you never know. But yeah, if you can reload right after you drop this guy, he could be pretty cool. And at the very least, he's probably a really high pick in arena. Like, he's just, if he's not good, he's borderline. I mean, I think. So, moving on to Rabbit Working. 3 mana, 3/3 rush. This reminds me a bit of Wolf Rider. Now, obviously, the big advantage of Wolf Rider is going face, but Wolf Rider hasn't seen any play because, you know, one defense is bad. It's hard to. And 3 attack doesn't always bust through a lot of stuff like, you know, working. Well, here's the deal. I guess the idea is, like, think about cards you're probably going to see that this card is going to run into. Now, you don't really feel too bad if they play their Stonehill Defender and you run this guy into it. I mean, I guess it's upside to, you know, the Wolf Rider, you know, because it rush does have the limit where it can't hit face. But also something to think about is like this guy right here, the draw, Town Crier, and Festering Hawk. A lot of these cards kind of serve as a rush, you know, so it could be potentially quite good. So, and moving on to the next card is Warpath. It's a 2 mana Echo, deal 1 damage to all minions. I like this card. I think it's very flexible. I think Warrior has a lot of stuff that triggers on damage. I think it gives you a lot of flexibility with wiping boards, you know, strategically. It's very flexible removal. I think as at the very least for 2, it's double-bladed Consecrate, which may or may not bother you. But if you're going to Consecrate and you had no minions, it's still pretty good. It's very flexible. I don't know. I like it. Moving on to the next card. Last card is the Woodcutter's Axe. It's a 2 mana 2/2. Death Rattle give +2/+1 to a random friendly rush minion. So something about the Rabbit Working up here to notice is that if you play Woodcutter's Axe on turn 2, attack face, on turn 3 you can play your Rabbit Working, attack face with the axe, and then have a 5/4 Rabbit Working, who is most likely definitely going to trade something off of their turn 2 to 3 play and stick around. So there's a decent chance he'll get that 5 damage on the face. Seems pretty good. Wow, it seems like there's a lot of pressure, right? So Woodcutter's Axe, I think, will be good if Rush can get off the ground, which it seems like there are some just solid, there's some decent Rush cards here, so we should be able to see something to that effect, hopefully. Moving on to the biggest section of cards we have. I'm just going to scan them real quick. Oh, look at all those. We have the neutrals. Now, I'm going to spend a good amount of time on the legendaries and the epics, but as we get down to there's some cards that probably won't really need a whole lot of description because they're kind of simple, as a lot of neutral cards can be, which is why they're in the neutral set, because they're flexible and all that stuff. Alright. Excuse me, move this mic closer. So, first we have Azalina Soul Thief, 7 mana 3/3. You replace your hand with a copy of your opponent's. There is a world where you can look at this as 7 mana draw 10, potentially, right? Which is good then, right? More often than not, that will not be the case. I feel like this is almost like a way to look at this is almost like a neutral Divine Favor. So the difference is you put Divine Favor as you draw cards you put in your deck, and this is cards your opponent put in your deck. But there's something you said about the cards your opponent will be holding on their turn 6 to 8, right? If you play this on curve, there are probably higher value minions in their hand and some higher value spells, stuff that more reactive stuff that you may want. It could be pretty good in a, like a control mirror where your opponent has just like strong value cards and you just get a taste of that if they and you can use that as a draw mechanic in your deck and that can draw heavy meta. I don't know, it seems like it has fun potential applications, not just a meme card, I think, but it's definitely a very niche slot of where its true power level would lie, I think. But it's a cool card. It's not, I'm not sure. Oh, it's not like an autocraft or anything for me, but it's a cool card. Next, we have one of the most anticipated legendary neutral legendaries of the set. We have Baku the Moon Eater. Start of game, if your deck has only odd cost cards, upgrade your hero power. This card has terrible stat line. However, you don't play this card for the stat line, right? You play it to in a deck that is aiming to maximize an upgraded hero power. So, as we learned with True Silver Champion, not True Silver Champion, True Heart Justicar, I think his name is. True Heart Justicar. Where the idea of the upgraded hero power was first introduced, we learned that not all of them are equal, that it's really good for warrior, paladin, priest. Those are classes I saw a lot of use of it last time. I'm sure there was, trying to think of any other use. Let's see, because the rogue's weapon, the rogue, you didn't really get to abuse your hero power because that's not how the rogue weapon's designed. Shaman just got to choose a totem. Hunters was interesting, but I think it was just Hunters becomes deal 3 damage to your opponent, which is a lot. It's a lot. That's a lot of damage. I kind of like Hunter hero power with Baku the Moon Eater in a way. So we'll see. Obviously, the problem is trying to build that only odd cost card deck, which is cool because I guess in theory that is I guess these are hero power decks, right? Decks that you want to build your curve around using your hero power as often as possible because that's why you upgraded it, right? That's where you get the real value of Baku the Moon Eater, right? So it'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of deck experimentation. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And if it's good, it'll be probably really good. You know? So we'll see. Dollmaster Dorian is the next card, 5 mana, 2/6. Whenever you draw a minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. This card is pretty cool. Like a Barnes-like effect that doesn't just, like pull it out of your deck. He needs to be comboed with something or stick around. I don't think it's the most difficult thing to do because in a way, you could combine this, say if you're playing Druid or something, I don't know, anything that has that draw card, right? Play Dollmaster Dorian, and you draw, say, Nourish for 5 after that on turn 10. You draw 3 cards, you can draw 3, you create 3 1/1s, but it's a way to create a draw turn without losing the board completely. I think is probably one of the simpler applications of this card. I'm sure there's some stuff like combining with death rattles, death rattle effects to just like abuse the value of your death rattles, like somehow Spirit Seeker Umbra sticks, and then next turn you do this, and somehow they both stick. I don't know what world that happens in, but the idea is to combine those two together and you start getting like degenerate amounts of value. So it's a combo card. It could be cool. It's not the lamest legendary for sure. I think it has a lot of applications. I'm not sure if it's good because 5 mana 2/6 is not, excuse me, a super strong stat line. mean, it's kind of designed to stick around though, so we'll see. We'll see about Dalmestadorian. I see this like meme-tastic thing with him with like you have Argyle and then you book a Spectres with Dalmestadorian and you just get a bunch of copies of minis you drew and then you get one more copies on the ground, stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. Next is the other side of the Baku, the Moon Eater. It's Gen Greymane, or Gen Greymane. I'm gonna go with Gen. I'm gonna go with Gen. It sounds I don't know, Germanic or something. That could be completely ignorant on my part. I have no idea. I'm going with Gen. Gen Greymane. Start of game. If your deck has only even cost cards, your starting hero power cost 1. I think a lot of people have decided that the Baku, the Moon Eater's effect is probably higher power level, but I think this is pretty cool. I think this is, for some reason, I'm always thinking about Hunter Hero Power, but I think Hunter Hero Power for 1 is pretty awesome. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. That could be pretty awesome, I think. Other hero powers that could really benefit by costing 1. Like, this is something that maybe it's like more of an aggressive deck that wants its hero power to be 1 because you're looking to get the same value at a lower cost. So you're just trying the ideas that you probably wanted to squeeze out more value of your regular hero power anyway. So, yeah, I hope it just really depends on what you can shoehorn together to meet that seemingly backbreaking requirement. But keep in mind, the idea is that I'd like to, the Baku, the Moon Eater, it's to set your curve around using your hero power as often as possible. So moving on to Countess Ashmore. She's a 7-mana 6/6, draw a Rush, Lifesteal, and Death Battle card from your deck. I like this card a lot. It is, I guess, comparable stat line to the Curator who saw a lot of play. Now, Curator did have Taunt, which is a big difference, but the Countess Ashmore does has 2 more attack, helps her trade a little bit better. Maybe makes it more of a mid-range card than as a hardcore control card, but I don't know. But really, if you want to decks that you would use this is more often than not an idea is a 7-mana 6/6 Battlecry, draw 3 cards, or 2-3 cards, you know, or even one specific card that has Lifesteal or Death Rattle. If you don't have any other Rush or Lifesteal in your deck, kind of has a way to run a pseudo 2 copies of that card to increase the maybe it's an 8-mana card and you really need to get that card down on curve, something like that, you know. So could be really cool. I'm sorry about this phone, everybody. All right. Next we have Baleful Banker. Battlecry. It's 2-mana 2/2. Battlecry, choose a friendly minion, shuffle a copy of it into your deck. Pretty cool, actually. It's not a very valuable body, but in a deck that you're doing this, you're probably not looking for the most valuable body. You're looking to abuse a battle cry or something like that. Something that comes to mind for me is combining this with the Rogue's 4/4 battle cry. Add 4 Nerubians to your deck. Just fill your deck with Nerubians and cards that generate more Nerubians, and just have a constant board of 4/4s. That'd be kind of good. This is kind of fun. I like this card. Moving on to Muck Hunter, 5-mana 5/8. Rush, Battle Cry, summon 2 2/1 Mucklings for your opponent. I'm not a big fan of cards that generate minions for your opponent. Personally, I don't like this card, but I do really want to like this card because it's, I mean, 5/8 is a lot of, it's a very tempting stat line for 5 mana, right? especially since it could get rid of something that's much more annoying. The turn it comes out and stick around. That's bigger than those 2/1 mucklings. But then you have to ask yourself, giving them the additional trading, giving your opponent rather the additional trading power of the extra 2/1 mucklings, is it worth it? Now there's obviously like a world where maybe you can like cheat out a spell like uh, prep Fan of Knives to get rid of these mucklings, but that's a 3 card combo to ensure you get a 5 and a 5/8, draw a card and maybe kill some of their other guys, but then the rush guy is kind of there to eliminate people. That's what rush is there for, to trade, to choose better, be better at trading. So I don't know about this card, but I think it's a cool concept, or a cool stat line for this concept, giving your opponent some really high trade potential minions, but you do get a 5/8. So moving on to Nightmare Amalgam. I gotta be a lot fast with these guys. So this is pretty sweet. It's a 3-mana 3/4 that is every creature type, and I like this. I think this is a cool card to really help people who are trying to increase their synergy of their tribal decks. There's been only been there's some successful tribal themes with like Murloc Paladin and stuff like that, but there's themes like Beast Druid and Dragon Paladin that haven't had a lot of the tools they needed to increase your synergy. So I like that this card is there just to make all those a little bit more viable, and a 3-mana 3/4 body is not bad at all. So moving on to the Witch's Cauldron. 3-mana 0/4. After a friendly minion dies, add a random shaman minion to your hand. I think this card in a lot of situations is not very good. So I guess you're running some kind of hunter that isn't strictly spell hunter, so that you can use this with Unleash the Hounds maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. It's maybe you play this before you destroy the whole board with that Volcano Ash Shaman to not lose your card value. I don't know. I don't really like it. It also just sticks on the board and your opponent wants to kill it because they don't want you getting any value, right? And it's a 0/4. So yeah, it's just free value. Just deny your opponent the value. I don't know. You need to really protect this card somehow. Maybe in some kind of taunt shaman, you play this card. And every time one of your taunt minions dies, you get another spell or something. I don't know. Overall, I don't want to keep on saying I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good justification for this card, and I just think it's kind of weak, so I'm gonna move on. Voodoo Doll, 3-mana 1/1. Cry, choose a minion. Death Rattle, destroy the chosen minion. Neutral, guaranteed removal. I mean, I guess it's like silenceable, but neutral removal like this is good. That's going to be a very powerful tool for a lot of people. A lot of everyone, really. It's a cool tool to have, but it's going to be more powerful in some classes. Immediately, Mage comes to mind. 5-mana, destroy anything with your hero power is pretty good. But Warrior could be make really good use of this. So it's good. It's a good card. That's going to be a really good card. I almost want to autocraft 2 of them just to make sure I have them. So that's pretty good. Moving on to Working Abomination. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other damaged minions. All other damaged minions. So, yeah, this guy doesn't even help you swing the board in your favor. After say if you got your on a swing, this is a swing the board position, unless you're already kind of in the board position. I guess it's pretty good. like a warrior, maybe, but I don't know. It's epic Armageddon, I guess, or epic Barongeddon thing, but without the elemental strategy. Probably not that great, but it's an interesting tool for people to have in their toolkits. Moving on to Mossy Horror, Battle Cry, 6 mana, 2/7. Uh, excuse me, I didn't go over Abomination stats. It's a 7 mana, 6/6 epic card. Moving on to Mossy Horror. Mossy Horror is a 6 mana, 2/7. Battle Cry, destroy all other minions. Destroy all other minions with 2 or less attack. It's cool that it doesn't kill itself, and it's like a neutral Shadow Word Horror, which is good. It's proven that there's been a lot of good decks that use cards of 2 or less attack, like Dude Paladin, Murloc Paladin. It's good. It's pretty swingy. It's a good tech card. I like it. Moving on to for Splitter Infestor, 8 mana, 4/4, summon 2/2/2 splitting saplings. I know splitting saplings have death battles where they each spawn like a 1/1 or a 2/1 sapling. So there's like a lot of value in this card. Like with, I kind of like this card a lot. I'm not sure if it's good enough to see competitive play, but this card's a lot of fun. It is. It's like, yeah, man. It's like those are 2/2 saplings, 1/1s maybe. It's just like that's 4, 6. That's 7 bodies and 1 body. That's pretty good. That's kind of interesting. Very sticky. It's the stickiest mini that ever been placed on the game, right? So pretty cool. It's cool. I'm not sure if it's good, but it's definitely super cool. Sandbinder, 4 mana, 2/4. Battle Cry, draw an elemental from the deck. Okay, so it's Novice Engineer, not Novice Engineer. It's Gnomish Inventor, but it's draw specifically elementals from the deck. So it's like a tutor card. Novice Engineer, or not Novice Engineer. Sorry about that. It is Gnomish Inventor has seen play before in decks that needed draw on that, especially since there's not a lot of strong neutral draw for classes. So an elemental deck, this could be good. Could be very good. 4 mana, tutor a tribal type card, could be good. Just more specific, Gnomish Inventor. Gnomish Inventor isn't a bad card, so it's just kind of a rough on the epic end for free-to-play players. So, but that's life, I guess. Galen Royal Guard, 8 mana, 3/8. See, these working cards, I don't know. I'm gonna just tell you, I'm not sure if any of these working cards because you can't rely on their consistency. They're not gonna see competitive play. That being said, if one did, it would be this one. This is pretty cool. Divine Shield Rush. Each time this is in your hand, swap its attack and health. So it could be an 8 mana, 8/3 Divine Shield Rush, which in the event that it's 8/3, when you want it to be an 8/3, it's good. But when it's not an 8/3, it's mediocre. Mediocre to really bad, depending on your opponent's board. Because it'd be cool to have a 3/7 that just kept on running into stuff, but really the 8/3 is going to get rid of that Lich King and keep a body on the board, right? So moving on to the next card, 4 mana, 3/3 Night Prowler. It's a beast. Battle Cry. This is the only minion in the battlefield. Game +3/+3. That's kind of a cool card. So 4 mana, 6/6 as a reload. Yeah, I'm not mad at this card. I'm not sure how you engineer this card unless you just intentionally play a deck with a low amount of minions, which that's risky by itself. But I mean, obviously a really strong arena card. Get Flamestruck, play this. Yeah, and you can just play this as the first minion you play that turn as well, and then still follow it up with stuff. Cool. 3 mana 2/4 Echo Taunt. I like this because it is more flexible than just 3 mana 2/4. 3 mana 2/4 isn't really bad. 3 mana 2/4 Taunt, that is like the tentacle guy. He's not really the worst card in the world, but its power, its value drops off so late, so fast within the span of the game. This, however, increases its value by being multiple cards, so you can kind of use it to buy yourself a whole extra turn if that's something you're looking to do, or something like that. So this card could be very cool. Scaleworm is a 4 mana 4/4 battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, gain +1 an attack and rush. So we got a lot of like dragon strategy cards, but we don't have a lot of dragons printed. So the value of all the dragon cards we've seen so far are largely going to be dependent on what dragons people can piece together. If people can piece together enough dragons, this card's going to be cool. 4 mana 5/4 is not bad, and it has the ability to trade immediately, so not terrible. But you have to get the upswing with it if you're going to get it right. So, Witchwood Grizzly, Taunt, Battlecry, lose 1 health, reach card in your opponent's hands. So this card's just sick because you can recruit this out as a 3/12 Taunt. Against aggro, this is like a really strong card against aggro because aggro is dumping its hand. If you're mid-range to control, you just got a really strong taunt to answer that. And even if it gets silenced, it's still a 3/12. So there's a world where you can silence this and it gains health, I think. At the very least, it gains maximum health, perhaps. So, pretty good. Witchwood Grizzly is pretty good. Next minute is the 4 mana 3/3 Witchwood Piper Battlecry. Draw the lowest cost minion from your deck. I mean, I guess if you want to filter your draws so you don't top deck poorly, seems like an arena card unless you are tutoring for a specific card. Like, yeah. Maybe there's a world where you run 1 Witchwood Piper and then you run 1 giant minion in an all spell deck, and Witchwood Piper is basically just a second copy of that big legendary minion to ensure that you get that copy. So, could be something like that. Chief Inspector, Battlecry, destroy all enemy secrets. 5 mana 4/6. Great tech card. If secrets get out of hand, Chief Inspector is going to start seeing play. We've learned that in the past, people just aren't opposed to just playing tech cards. Now, I think the problem here is Eater of Secrets is another really strong secret counters, and it actually gains value from the secrets it destroys. But maybe the argument is Chief Inspector here, however, is actually a fairly static body for its mana cost with decent distribution. So 5 mana 4/6 doesn't make you feel super bad. So in the event that you are come across your Chief Inspector, and when you're not playing against secrets, you can at least have a decent body on the board. I can definitely see that. Mad Hatter is a 4 mana 3/2, randomly toss 3 hats to other minions. Each hat gives +1/+1. No, I don't like this card. It's like Mad Bomber, but possibly even more dangerous. Like, it sucks to kill your own stuff, but it feels even worse to buff your enemy's stuff. So, I don't like Mad Hatter at all. Nope, that's just a nope card. Life Tank is a 4 mana 3/3. Battlecry, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. Restore 3 health to your hero. You know what? It's not priced and statted to be super good, but it's not a bad arena card because it's like a burn. It's a 3 mana 3 damage burn to give you some reach in a limited damage situation in arena. It gives you some health back. But it needs to be, if it was going to be competitive play, it would need to be a 3 mana 3/3 or 4 mana 4/4. Probably a 3 mana 3/3, honestly, because 4 mana is more there's better options. Somehow, I must have. Oh, Night Prowler's been put up here twice. Okay, noted. Alright, let's move on past the second printed copy of Night Prowler. Blackwood, Blackwall Pixie. Okay, we're getting to the comments. 3 mana, 3/4, battle card, refresher, hero power. Fairly statted, been good in arena. I'm not sure how often you're wanting to put this in constructed. Maybe in some of those the odd deck. That way you can have a big swing turn where you use your hero power, your super strong hero power twice. Perhaps competitive, but other than that, it's just probably a strong arena card. Clockwork Automaton. 5 mana, 4/4, double the damage and healing of your hero power. So obviously with Golden, this makes you deal 6 and heal 12. Some people think that's great, some people think it's overkill. I don't know. I think if this sees competitive play, it sees it specifically in that deck and that deck only, if they're looking for like that kind of extra reach as a minor kill condition. Or I guess a life-saving situation perhaps. Otherwise, it's a really cool arena card. I don't know. 5 mana 4/4 is like, it's a cool ability, but it's not the best statted. But obviously it's common, so it's not going to be the best statted. So could be good, could be a strong arena card if anything. Next is Hinged Clan Thug. 3 mana 3/3. After your hero attacks, give this minion +1/+1. This actually isn't bad at all. Any kind of a weapon-oriented deck or a rogue deck can have a 3 mana 4/4, and that's just good. That's just good. As long as you obey proper sequencing when playing this on turn 3, say you rogue your hero power on turn 2, you play this guy, you attack your opponent's face, you have a 3 mana 4/4. Hinged Clan Thug is pretty good actually. I kind of think that card is cool, and I like the artwork. Moving on to March Drake. March Drake is a 3 mana 5/4 battlecry, summon 2/1 poisonous. Summon a 2/1 poisonous dragon slayer for your opponent. No, but it's silly. Unless you can remove the 2/1, you're getting a 3 mana 5/4 that gives your opponent the ability to not just kill this, but perhaps something better on your side of the board. I don't know, poisonous is a scary thing to give your opponent. It's already scary enough to give them a minion, right? So let's not do that. I don't think that card's great, but here's the deal. It's a dragon, and that's a premium creature type with all these other strategy cards. So perhaps it's just the world people live in. Pumpkin Peasant. 3 mana 2/4 life steal. Each turn this is in your hand, swap its attack and health. A good arena card. 2 inconsistency constructed. Raven. Raven Collar. 3 mana 2/1 battlecry. Add 2 random 1-cost minions to your hand. Could be good in arena for a value card. Just to get some more gas. It could be good in token decks. It's an unimpressive body for 3 mana though, which is something that really hurts the card. But if you're looking to go wide, this card can help you do it. Perhaps just good in arena or in Quest Hunter if that Quest Hunter becomes a thing. Next is Rotten Apple Bomb. Taunt, Death Rattle, restore 4 health to your hero if it's a 5 mana 4/5. Yeah, people like this card. It's a good control card. It's a taunt, protects your face, and it heals your hero. Buys you time. It's a good buy time card. Could be good. Could be very good. Spell shifters are 2 mana 1/4 spell damage +1. Each turn this is in your hand. Swap its attack and health. I was thinking that this was weaker than Dalaran Mage because Dalaran Mage was consistently a 1/4 and safe. It was a lot more safe for removal than I realized. Dalaran Mage is a 3 mana card and this is a 2 mana card. This could be pretty good. You can just jam this on turn 2 as a 4/1, and you can operate like that boar, I guess. The problem is, yeah, it's a little bit weaker on turn 2 if it's in the opening hand, right? Because it changes to the 4/1. Now you can coin on your first turn if you're on the draw, or I guess if you're on the coin. So because if you coin this restaurant, it's pretty resilient spell damage running at turn 2, so has potential. Has some more potential than some of the other working cards. Our Breeze 3's Dragon Egg, Swan Dragon Egg, but Death Rod, add a dragon to your hand. It could be bad dragons like this guy right here. And it's a 1-mana 0/3 that can attack and it only draws you a card. I don't like it. The other cards, the other egg cards, put a minion on the board, and this card doesn't. So you lose tempo to draw a card. 1-mana draw a card, I guess, is okay, but then you don't choose when to draw a card and you give your opponent no incentive. You have to run cards that buff this card or that cards where you get to kill your own dudes. So it requires a lot of synergy but not a lot of payoff. I don't really like that card. But I guess it does help you get dragons for your dragon activators. Maybe that's why it's there. Swift Messenger, 4-mana 2/6 rush. This card feels good if you can get it as a 4-mana 6-mana run into something, or 6 attack and run into something and kill it. 2/6 rush. Probably only really strong against like a low to the ground deck with a lot of minions that you just maybe get a couple of value trades off of. Not the most powerful card. Problem with Work and Life, not really the most powerful game mechanic. Next is Tangle for a Mystic. 3-mana 3/4 Battle Cry. Add a random 2-cost minion to each player's hand. I don't think this card makes any sense. It's like a bad it's like it reminds me of a Spellslinger, but not as good. Because Spellslinger, what you already wanted to play a bunch of spells in that deck anyway, and this is just a 2-cost money that you're giving your opponent. Because your opponent may not. Everyone benefits from 2-cost minion, right? So maybe if you're like a Druid deck and you're like Aggro Druid and you're looking to keep on getting fuel to reload and you don't care what your opponent has because you're just looking to Savage Roar them, maybe it's a 3-mana 3/4. It's a strong stat line. It's just a weird battle cry. Not the worst card because of the stat line, but I don't know how I feel about the battle cry. 4-mana 0/9 Taunt, Unpowered Steambot. It's a mech. It's an arena card. 9 defense is a hella high defense, and I guess this could be really cool in Lady in White Priest. It could be sick in Lady in White Priest. But otherwise, it's an arena card. Vicious Skill Hides, a 2-mana 1/3 Lifesteal Rush. 2 really cool keywords on a 2-mana card. It's 1/3 and it's a beast. Actually, I think this card is sick and like Beast Druid if you can get that going. The problem is it doesn't trade with anything on turn 2, but it's got a solid defense. If you can buff it, it's not maybe not sick. I don't know. It's got a weird body for its things, but it's got potential because it's got Lifesteal and Rush for only 2 mana. It's got 2 keywords and a vanilla stat line, but it's only 2 mana. So I don't know. Could be a good arena card, perhaps. Walnut Sprite is a 3-mana 3/3 Echo. 3-mana 3/3 isn't bad. You don't feel super bad for it because 3 is kind of a weird turn for stat lines anyway, and a 3/3 is just solid. Trades into anything that else you'd play on 3. And if you're on turn 6 or 9 in Arena, you can help refill. It's more of an Arena card. I don't really see a lot. See it being played a lot in Constructed, but it's not actually a bad card. 3-mana 3/3 Echo. Now, Wormguard is the next card. 7-mana 3/11. Battlecry for holding a dragon. Gain +1 attack and a taunt. If you can get a 4/11 taunt out of this for 7 mana, it would be about as good as a neutral tar. Was it the Warrior Tar Creeper, the 7-mana +3 attack dude on defense? It's a lot like that. I like the artwork, but dragon synergies are hard to come by, and 7 mana, I don't know. I guess you probably still have some good dragons from Ungoro you can take advantage of. This into a Primordial Drake is a lot of taunt, so maybe it could be fun. Could be good. Deranged Doctor, Death Rattle, restore 8 health to your hero. That's a good arena card. That's just kind of a fun card. 8 mana, 8/8. Yeah, it's not great, but it's fun. It's probably a solid arena card. Fellsoul Inquisitor, 4 mana, 1/6 lifesteal taunt. 1/6 is a terrible stat line, even if it has taunt, because anything that runs into it, it won't kill. It'll gain you maybe 2 life. Just 4 mana card that buys you time and doesn't buy you enough. Don't like it. Collagen Elemental is 8 mana, 7/7. Your other elementals have +2 attack. Just because it's kind of like a neutral bloodlust, this card has potential. As just like, you don't really play this to keep it on the board, you play this on a turn you want to swing for lethal, right? Could be cool. I like it. That's kind of sneaky. That's cool. 8 mana, 7/7. Your other elementals, Collagen Elemental, it's an elemental itself. Your other elementals have +2 attack. Lost Spirit is a 2 mana, 1/1 Death Rattle. Give your minions +1 attack. In Death Rattle Rogue, maybe. You have to be very board centric, and this has to die. This reminds me of like some of the cards from Whispers of the Old Gods. Death Rattle, give your minions +1/+1, and they didn't see any play, so this probably won't see any play either. Small Bleach is a 1 mana, 2/1 lifesteal beast. Not bad. That's a good stat line for a 1/1 and it has text and a relevant creature type. It's not a bad card. Yeah, Hunter will be looking for Cupid Beast to try to use its Dire Frenzy with, and the Dire Frenzy with Leech is not the worst thing in the world. I think it's a pretty good neutral minion. Last, Furious Edmund. Furious Edmund is a 7 mana, 5/9 taunt. Very vanilla, good arena card. You have 14 stat points plus a text for 7 mana, so it's vanilla good, vanilla plus, right? So it's solid, it's a good distribution of stats for a taunt minion. 5 damage will kill most likely anything that runs into it, and it will definitely survive 2 attacks from almost anything. It'll survive 2 attacks from the Lich King, so that's a good arena card. Alright guys, that's been the spoiler for card cover for the Witchwood series. I want to apologize for the first video. I'm learning how to use this new program, and I don't think I captured the screen very well, so I apologize for that. But if anything, the video quality isn't up to par. I may just release these as audios. So thanks. Take it easy.